What impact has the 1.5% decrease in interest rates had on the real estate market in December? Interesting time, because we would all think a lot more buyers got out there. 1.5% decrease, big news. However, good for the market overall, good for psychology, but we actually did not see the impact in December like we expected. We follow 4 markets. We follow St. Louis County, St. Louis City, Northern Jefferson County, and St. Charles. St. Louis County, sales in December were down 34% from December of 2020, a high mark over the last few years of 1,499 homes sold in December of 2020. In December 2023, only 991 homes. An interesting thing was that we really haven't seen prices increase. There's been some increases overall in the market, the average price, but it's actually settled down. We've seen prices just settle down a little bit after really a high watermark of early December of 2022. We saw a high watermark, and even December 2021. So they've really settled down from there. New listings. So again, we talked about the sales numbers were actually down 34% over the 3-year period. But interestingly enough, the new listings were only down 20% from 3 years ago. So it looks like the buyers really decided to sit on the sideline more than we expected them to. And active inventory, it actually didn't go down as much as we expected. So overall, active listings, it was interesting because we had 1,442 active listings in St. Louis County, December of 2023. It was a little bit higher than December of 2022, which is interesting again, because we saw sales decrease, we saw new listings decrease, but yet active inventory, active listings actually increased a little bit. What that told us is there were less buyers on the market. We thought there were going to be more sellers on the market, but those just did not sell through like we expected. And we're going to see that in other markets even more evident than St. Louis County. For example, St. Louis City. Months of inventory reflects if no new homes came on the market, how long it would take to sell through all of those homes. Throughout last year and even this year, we were about 1 month of inventory. Certain markets, we were half a month of inventory, but yet we saw in St. Louis City that there were over 2.8 months of inventory, which is actually the highest months of inventory over the last 5 years. So it's really something to keep an eye on. Equally, we saw that active inventory, as you'd expect them with those months of inventory, active inventory was up just in the last 2 years. It was up over 32.5%. Another interesting thing that happened in the city is most homes were selling at asking or above over the last 3 years. First, this year, December 2023, we saw an average of 98.7% of asking. So it looks like there was some negotiating room that we just had not seen in the past. So overall, the city has really, in the number of sales, down 41% over the last 2 years. Prices have actually stayed pretty steady, but list to price actually went down and months of inventory went up. So we're seeing some struggles right now in the St. Louis City that we didn't really expect to see with the lower of interest rates. If we look at what's happened in St. Charles County, again, that months of inventory number, 2.04 months of inventory. We've been stuck in the ones or even less than 1 month of inventory. So just to be clear though, 2 months inventory is still a seller's market, but it's not as severe as we were seeing in some months where it was like a half a month of inventory. There just weren't enough homes on the market. We saw new listings actually go down about 23% over the last few years. And we saw prices though, which was unique versus others, prices increased 33% with less sales. So what's happened again in St. Charles, a little bit different. Sales inventory, they had months of inventories building, prices continue to be strong. And so there's not as much negotiating room, for example, as you saw in St. Louis City. There just aren't the number of sales happening, and active inventory is about even over the past few years. There's been some high watermarks, but it's very consistent. So I'd say that St. Charles is actually performing overall very well. Now, Jefferson County, very similar to St. Louis City. It is absolutely underperforming. Sales numbers over the last 3 years, down 46%. New listings, so just there are sellers not putting their homes on the market, those down 43%. And yet active listings are down. So you're seeing what's happened is sales are way down, new listings are down, and active listings are down. So there's just not a lot happening, and the homes are sitting. So you're at that 2.38 months inventory. Again, we've traditionally been in the 1 month of inventory. For reference point, months of inventory going back 2008 when the market crashed, 15 months inventory. So this is nothing. This is nothing to be alarmed about months of inventory, but we're seeing numbers that we just haven't seen in the past, which is over 2 months inventory. So it's a really interesting time. What this overall tells you is even with that drop of 1.5% interest rates, we just have not seen the buyers come out in full force. There's still motivated sellers that want to sell, but they're not all getting sold because, as we've talked about, great homes are selling in today's market that are prepared for sale, that are updated and priced right. But those homes, there's many that are just sitting. And so I'm recommending to those sellers, continue to keep your home on the market. You may have to drop your price because you don't want to get into the spring market and have these same trends where there's more competition and the buyers really aren't coming out in full force. You may struggle. So it's the time to keep your home on the market. If you're a new seller with a great home, get your home on the market because it will absolutely sell and sell at a premium. If you're a buyer, there's some great opportunities right now. You don't have to write every offer, over asking, no contingencies. It's not that type of market. Great homes that are priced right or underpriced, sure, you'll have to do some of that. But overall, there's some great opportunities in the market. If you have any questions about buying, selling, investing, the value of your home, don't hesitate to reach out. Fill out the link below for your updated home valuation.